गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतिरवनचारि यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतिरवनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतिरवनचारि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधा माधव राधे जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपद जय जय प्रभुपद निताय गौर हरिगो निताय गौर जय श्री गोपाल जय गौर प्रेमानंद
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for joining and helping us understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So, devotees, Vrajajana Prabhu has come to this forum multiple times, but it's always an honor to welcome him and speak a few words to glorify him. He is one of the senior most members of Damodar Desh. He manages multiple initiatives and that does seva in almost every department. One of the kind of a person who is an authority on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. I always like to hear him speak. His lectures are mostly blended with practical application of the philosophy. That's why it makes it more interesting. And more importantly, he is like a personal, I mean, a kind of a application of the philosophy can be seen in his personal behavior. And I thank you so much for gracing this platform, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Subal Prabhu, for firstly again inviting me to your nice forum of devotees here where we study Srimad Bhagavatam. You're very kind to have probably spoken some nice words about me. And that's like a learning for me that I try to come to those standards. You can see it because that's your kindness that you're seeing such qualities, but I don't think I'm so much qualified. Anyway, uh, thanks again for bringing me here, and wonderful to know all of you, all the Adrishyas. All I can see is just the names. Okay. So let's begin the
Yeah,
Bhagavatam
I
class.
think it will be good if we all can switch on the cameras.
It's like we did a program the other day, and oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So very nice to see you all by face, Hare Krishna. Sushil Prabhu and
Hare
KS
Krishna.
Prabhu, Subal Prabhu and Uday Prabhu and Amit. Okay, all right. Where is Amit? Sorry, Amit to apna
Ah,
hi. He was our neighbor.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandar
Krishna.
Pranam, Prabhu.
Oh, there Panchatattva is there. Hare Krishna, Panchatattva Prabhu. Great, good to see you all. Because we did a program the other day and then my video was not working. So I said, बाबा हम लोग अभी मैं अदृश्य हुआ हूँ जैसे महाभारत में समय होता था ना समय used to come. Only voice background used to be there in Mahabharata. So I said, hey, I'm like Samay today. So nice to see you all. Hare Krishna. Good. So let's begin. Mangalacharan, let's all do.
do you want to share the screen or you want Rao Prabhu to share the screen?
Yeah, Rao Prabhu can do all that.
Rao Prabhu, you are okay?
I'm okay, Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayavadire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sivaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nestiki Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sadhujatam Sahagana Raghunathamritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishubhanushate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charini Nirvishesha Srimati Paschatya Veshitamane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Himanga Divya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namaste Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namaste Sri Chaitanya Chandra Namaste. Canto 3, Chapter 9, verse 36 on the screen. Gyatoham bhavata tvadhya durvigneyo api dehinam yanmam tvam manyase yuktam bhutendriya gunatmabihi.
I'll read the translation, Prabhu.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu. Sushil Prabhu, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, Prabhu. Although I am not easily knowable by the conditioned soul, you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material and specifically out of the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements. Knowledge of the supreme absolute truth does not necessitate negation of the material manifestation, but understanding of spiritual existence as it is. To think that because material existence is realized in forms, therefore spiritual existence must be formless, is only a negative material conception of the spirit. The real spiritual conception is that spiritual form is not material form. Brahma appreciated the eternal form of the Lord in that way, and the personality of the Godhead approved of Brahma's spiritual conception. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna condemned the material conception of his body, a conception that arises because he is apparently present like a man. The Lord may appear in any of his many spiritual forms, but he is not materially composed, nor has he any difference between body and self. That is the way of conceiving the spiritual form of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sushil Prabhu. So here we are seeing Brahma's prayers in glorification to after having darshan of the Lord. So if you see here, the Lord is thanking Brahma by firstly telling him that to know him is not easy for a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul is somebody who is conditioned basis his thought process, to his mind, to his intelligence, and who considers that the body and the soul is one, but actually they are different. So a conditioned soul is not able to understand the metaphysical thought process. What to speak of metaphysical, even the understanding of the Sankhya philosophy is not very clear for him. The Sankhya philosophy is the analytical study of the body. Here, as Prabhupada in the purport and the Lord himself saying that you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material. And what is that? Bhumi apo nalo vayu kam mano buddhi revacha. This is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhumi apo nalo vayu. The 5 gross elements, Bhumi, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and then the 3 subtle elements, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Brahma in his prayers is saying that Sachidananda Vigraha, Krishna, your form is Sat, Chit, and Ananda, full of eternity, full of knowledge, and full of bliss. Brahma, when he appeared, he was also Agyan. He was also not knowing. He tried to find the source. In the next few verses, you'll see, he tried to find the source of his existence. So, someone who doesn't know about his existence means that person is ignorant. And ignorance means a conditioned soul. Somebody who doesn't understand his real existence. So similarly, Brahma was not aware of the Lord, but when he did his penances and tapa, and then the Lord revealed himself, and then he was able to, by the mercy, in the few verses you will see that by Krishna's unconditional mercy, Brahma received this knowledge because he undergone some penance and some tapa. Like we understand in the material world, there are no free lunches. You have to do something to get something, to gain something. Similarly, the first example of no free lunches is Brahmaji. Brahmaji also, to understand his source, to understand from where he has come, who is his source, had to undergo through penance and some austerity. So he did his tapa, and then he was able to understand Krishna by Krishna's mercy. So nothing of the personality is material, of the Supreme Personality, of anything material. They are all spiritual. Here we can see from what Prabhupada is trying to mention in the purport is that many times in the material world, there is a comparison basis our understanding of the material world. That there is an unmanifested nature of which from the unmanifested nature there is form. So the original being is unmanifested. Like the concept of the Big Bang theory. There was nothing, but then there was a bang and then things manifested. So similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna explains that the material nature is unmanifested and then it gets manifested for some time. And after some time, it again becomes unmanifested. So this concept of material thought process then considers that the Lord doesn't have a form, he is formless. So that is why Prabhupada mentions in the first three lines, knowledge of the Supreme does not necessitate negation of the material manifestation, but understanding of the spiritual existence as it is. So you don't have to compare it with the material thought process, you have to accept it as it is. To think that because material existence is realized in forms, therefore spiritual existence must be formless is also a negative material conception of the spirit, which means you are thinking that the spirit is formless. And in this material world, now there is a form, but actually the spiritual concept is that Brahma is nirgun, means there is no form. And Prabhupada very clearly mentions the Lord may appear in his many forms, many spiritual forms, but he is not materially composed, nor has he had anything between body and his self. There is no difference. His body and the self of the Lord is very, very same. There is no difference. There is a difference. There is Deha and then there is Dehi. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also in the start. Dehinam, no, what is it that? The start he says that, what is the verse? Anyone can help me with that verse?
Dehin asmin yatha dehi.
Dehi no asmin, yes, thank you, Subal. Dehi no asmin yata dehi kaumaram yovanam. Dehi and Deha. So there is Dehi and then there is Deha. So Deha is the body and Dehi is the soul within the body. So Dehi asmin yata dehi kaumaram yovanam jana. So the body changes. So that is material. But spiritual is that the soul is Satchidananda, Sat full of eternity, full of knowledge and full of bliss. So many times, as even Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that the concept of the Lord, because he's in this, they say, human form. Actually, our human form is basis the form of the Lord. The original form is the Lord in his wonderful two-handed, two legs, beautiful form. And we have become, or we have taken the form of what he has in origin. So when people see that the Lord is just amongst us, then again the material conception comes in. And then they think that the Lord is also a human being. And that Krishna condemns that thought process. And that thought process is, Krishna says, Avajananti ma mudha manusham tanumashri. So they think Avajananti, because of no knowledge, they think that I am also a human being. I was also born. And after that, I also died. That's why this conception, many times people say, oh, Krishna was born and then Krishna died. So because of lack of knowledge. This knowledge is possible or is received. In the following verses, we'll understand. But I'll just touch base upon this, is that only by the Lord's causeless mercy. This is Divya Gyan. We also, in our prayers to our spiritual master, Divya Gyan Ridhe Prakashito. This knowledge is revealed within the heart. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. Tene Brahma. This knowledge is given to Brahma Hridaya, through the heart. So, through the heart, this knowledge is coming, which means what? Which means that as you get purified from the conditioned nature to becoming more spiritual in nature, then all this understanding is slowly revealed. We understand that there are many speakers who will speak the Bhagavatam, and many of them are uneducated. But just because of listening, Shravanadi, Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna, just by hearing what currently we are doing, we hear from the right source. So that's important. So when we hear from the right source, then the right knowledge is revealed. We might not be perfect. We are imperfect. Our senses are imperfect. Everything of us is imperfect. But because the knowledge is perfect, then we know what we are doing is perfect. That's the whole point. We might not be perfect, but because we follow the knowledge which is perfect, then everything becomes clear. So similarly here, Brahmaji was before conditioned, but then he became realized after he did tapa. And the Lord revealed himself. The beautiful nature of the Lord is that the Lord wants to have a reciprocal relationship with the devotee. And there are different rasas: Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So you see each and every rasa, the intensity of love, it just grows more. It's just like the milk. You boil milk, and then the milk becomes more conditioned, not conditioned, the milk becomes more thick and thick and thick and thick and thick, and then different forms. We all are aware. We all like, we are all Indians, so we all like various sweets made from milk, and we can see there are various forms of milk that take place coming from that source, which is then thickened and thickened. So similarly, Krishna's rasa, he enjoys this rasa of not being the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the highest form of rasa. Now, generally what happened was, even us, I mean to say, if you talk of the material and the spiritual, you will see the difference. In the material stream, firstly, we don't know anything. Then we know something. We then try and master in that, and then we get some success. And then you want people to know and then glorify you, and you feel great about it. Material consumption, because you've done something, it's visible. You put in the effort, then you want to show yourself that people should know about you. Spiritual aspect, you start engaging yourself in sadhana, slowly you start getting purified, you start getting more knowledge, you start relishing the spiritual process, and then you get more purified and more purified and more purified. And then you've achieved in this material world, through the material eye, many people see so much of success that you've done. So they start gauging you with your success. And then when you start, and they start glorifying you. What a wonderful devotee. He's done so much. He's built so many temples. He's made so many devotees. But you ask that devotee, the genuine devotee, how he feels. Material concept, he was feeling great. Everyone should be as glorified. spiritual concept, he doesn't want to be glorified. He feels very shy. He doesn't want to. He just wants to be the servant of the Lord. He doesn't want to be revealed with so much of glories. He doesn't. That's the concept of the spiritual process. Similarly, the Lord in different rasas, you see, he doesn't want to identify himself as being the Supreme Personality of God. He establishes the Bhagavad Gita through the process of who he is. Only after Arjuna spoke and said, I need to know about your opulence, then Krishna spoke about his opulences. Krishna didn't keep saying, I'm great, I'm this, I'm that. Only when he was asked by Arjuna, please now reveal about your opulence, Krishna spoke. Many times people say, Hare Krishna is very proud of himself. Yeah, he's talking about himself. I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. So how proud he is. So then the answer to that is no, Krishna is not proud. Krishna is stating facts. But is this the rasa that Krishna enjoys more? No. Krishna enjoys more when in Sakyaras he is given he is given bad words. Huh? In Vatsalya also, when his father will shout at him, chastise him. Mother Yashoda will chastise him. He enjoys that. When in Madhurya Bhav, when the gopis chastise, the gopis punish him, the gopis tell him to dance just for a little bit of chas. Krishna does it willingly. He enjoys that. Though he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he doesn't show that. That is the beauty of Krishna in his rasa. So, Bhagavad Gita, he gives us knowledge because people are in conditioned life. They don't know about the Lord. Dasya bhav. They like to glorify the Lord. And this is what is happening. Brahma understands who Krishna is and is glorifying in Dasya bhav. So Krishna accepts that mode. But his real mode is when someone doesn't mean that we have to chastise him or we call him Lampat and all these things. No, that's not our mode. We are also still in Dasya bhav. Prabhupada also mentioned this. When these temples are there, ISKCON, so many temples are there, Radha and Krishna deities are there. Though our mood is Gaudiya Parampara, the mood is Madhurya Ras, in separation, Vipralamba Bhav, still our Prabhupada said we are still worshipping Radha and Madha or Radha and Shyam Sundar or Radha Parisishwar or Radha Landanishwar or Radha Raman in the mood of Dasya. That is why for us sadhana, we should understand who Krishna is. And that is why this practical knowledge of the Lord is, I'm sorry, I got distracted because there's a pigeon that has laid two chicks and then there was this raven, this crow that came in maybe. And then there was this fight, so sorry. So this is the mood of the Lord, that he doesn't want to identify himself as the Supreme Personality of God. And that is the highest form of rasa. Similarly, for a devotee also, when he is being glorified, he doesn't want to hear. But the material concept, material thought process, whatever I've done, I've achieved, I've done something, I've realized, people should also realize. I have realized I have something great and special, but people don't realize. They should realize, so I should be glorified. And they take great pride. This is the sorry nature of being in the material world. But when you are in the spiritual thought process, you are continuously getting mercy from the Lord. You're getting the anugraha. In the next few verses, you will see the Lord is saying, giving anugrah. So in short, in this verse, one is not able to understand Krishna because of being conditioned. To come out of the conditional nature, you need the causeless mercy of the Lord and His devotees. Only by the causeless mercy of the Lord and His devotees that you are able to understand the transcendental qualities of the Lord. And when you understand these transcendental qualities of the Lord, then you glorify these transcendental qualities of the Lord. This is why it is said, when you come to the temple and when you see the form of the Lord, we have a big list of our many things that we want. But the most thing that will please the Lord is when we glorify these wonderful prayers by these wonderful devotees of the Lord. This is why we should repeat these prayers, the Gajendra prayers, Brahma's prayers, Dhruva's prayers. And there's so many of these prayers which are there. And when you do this, then you're naturally getting purified. At the same time, the Lord is being pleased because we are in Dasya. And we are revealing something which the Lord has said in fact. And He's revealing His truth. So that's the point. You have any questions on this point? If not, then we go to text 37. तुभ्यम मद विचिकित्सयाम आत्मा में दर्शितो बहिः नलेन शलिले मूलम पुष्करस्य विचिन्वता. Yes.
Yeah,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When you are contemplating whether there was a source to the stem of the lotus of your birth, and you even entered into that stem, you could not trace out anything. But at that time, I manifested my form from within. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead can be experienced only by His causeless mercy, not by mental speculations or with the help of the material senses. Material senses cannot approach the transcendental understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can be appreciated only by submissive devotional service when He reveals Himself before the devotee. Only by love of Godhead can one know God, and not otherwise. The personality of Godhead cannot be seen with the material eyes, but He can be seen from within by spiritual eyes opened by the ointment of love of Godhead. As long as one's spiritual eyes are closed due to the dirty covering of matter, one cannot see the Lord. But when the dirt is removed by the process of devotional service, one can see the Lord. Without a doubt, Brahma's personal endeavor to see the root of the lotus pipe failed. But when the Lord was satisfied by his penance and devotion, He revealed Himself from within with no external endeavor. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so I'll read the translate. Thank you, Uday Prabhu. When you were contemplating whether there was a source of the stem, so he was trying to find out, who am I? Everything I see is dark. What is this? From where did I come? So, conditioned state. Tried to search. From where is the source? This search is called inquisitiveness, jigyasa. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 4 types of people, they will come to me. Artho, Artharthi, Jnani, and Jigyasu. One who's in distress, one who wants material things, one who's in process of Gyan, who already has some knowledge, he wants more, and one who's inquisitive about his thought, about who he is. So similarly here, Brahma is trying to contemplate where he has come from. Then he goes through that step, and then he tries to find out, and then the Lord manifests and reveals himself. So, as Prabhupada mentions the purport which we discussed also in the previous verse, that it is only by his causeless mercy and not by mental speculation. We all have our mind, we all have our intelligence, but all that mind and thought process and all that knowledge that we have received is all come from material source. The material source is our school education. So is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. You're getting educated. But unfortunate, the teachers are teaching what the material subjects have been, mostly emphasized. If you go a few 100 years, 200 years back, we had this system called as Gurukul. We would go to the Gurukul. The interesting part was that a boy, if he was born, going to Gurukul means he would be going like a boarding school. He'll go to the Gurukul and he'll stay there, he'll learn under a guru, and the guru will teach him, and all these subject matters would be taught. But basically, mostly on spiritual thought processes. This was what was given. So the boy is naturally getting connected with the Lord because of the spiritual practices. There used to be Nyaya, there used to be logic also, there used to be maths also. All of this used to be there, but then all of this was then connected with the Lord. Because the Lord is the source of everything. So the teacher would teach. Unfortunate, the teachers are teaching what they have been taught, so they teach the same thing. And this is why we are conditioned and we are not able to understand the Lord. We only can get this only when there is a mercy coming from the devotee. Oh, wow, amazing. Only how does it come? It comes when we do something agyan, without understanding what we are doing. Sometimes we have helped some devotee, like one devotee was saying, so many different instances. You have taken a devotee by your car and you have dropped him somewhere. And and he has been very kind to have received your service, he is very thankful. Similarly, when the Lord himself comes out in his chariot as on Rath Yatra, then the devotee sees this wonderful form of the Lord. And then there are devotees who are giving prasad, so they take the prasad. Agyata Sukruti. He doesn't know who the Lord is. This is what happened in the first Rath Yatra of 1967, San Francisco, Rath Yatra that happened. So many of them got causeless mercy. Our dear His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who is Shiksha Guru for so many of us. When we came to Krishna consciousness, so many things we learned. We got so much of his mercy. He also got mercy from Jayananda Prabhu. Amazing. Through a nail, through a nail. There was this Rath Yatra, the cart was being made, the wheel, and he was just a passerby. He was just passing by. So Jayananda called him and said, please, can you help me? So that person who was Jayapataka, at that time he was not Jayapataka Maharaj. So he came and he said, yes, what do you want? So he said, can you just hold this nail, please? I just need to hit. Actually, he could have held the nail and hit, but he just wanted somebody also to get the mercy. So he held the nail, and then the person held the nail, and then he hit the nail. And the nail was hit onto the cart. And Jayananda Prabhu said, what a nice talent you have of holding that nail. What is so much of talent that one needs just to hold the nail? He just held the nail. Anyone can do that. But Jayananda glorified him out of love, because he's seeing from a very different way. He's not seeing the body. He's seeing that the soul is conditioned in this body, and he doesn't know the real path. So he's trying to bring him to Krishna consciousness. So he said, amazing. And Jayamata Maharaj held that nail and never gave up, not holding the nail anymore. Just continued staying with his God, and held so many of us by bringing so many of them to Krishna's mercy. So you receive this by causeless mercy, not by mental speculation. Why? You cannot understand the Lord by mental speculation. If you try to, it's like Prabhupada mentioned, that if you want to understand your father, the source is your mother. So if you ask your mother who's your father, then she will say he is your father, because she knows. And you ask the right source. So the right source is the scriptures. If you read the scriptures, the knowledge is revealed who is your father. So if you try to mentally speculate, okay, go ahead, try to find out who your father is. There are so many men. How will you speculate? How will you find out? You will do a test of so many people? Not possible practically. You will start seeing the faces, whether I resemble that person. So it's all mental speculation. So mental speculation, you're not able to understand the Lord. Similarly, the material senses cannot approach the transcendental understanding of the Supreme Personality. Na bhavet grahyam indriya. The indriyas, the senses are material. With the material senses, you're not able to understand something spiritual. This is why he said, Na bhavet grahyam indriya sevan mukhe hi jivana. How it is possible? By sevan mukhe. Inside the mouth there is this tongue, jivva. The jiva does two activities, glorifies and has sadhana. So, by just glorifying the Lord and just by having prasad, what happens? You start getting purified. See the process. I mean, it's so simple. We all take 3 times in a day, right? What does the food do? Prabhupada mentions, what does food do? Food only makes your body full. But prasad, it actually satisfies the soul. That's why Prabhupada, in the 70s, the first Govinda restaurant that started, Prabhupada mentioned this point, that in this material world, in this age now, people don't like going to temples. People don't go and spend time in temples. Because actually temples are mandir, man and dhir, where the mind becomes dhir. But we are not going to these temples because the temples have also become business centers. Generally, the mind has to become dhir. And how it can become dhir? When the mind is engaged in chintan of the Lord. How can you have chintan of the Lord? We are having so many chintas. So one devotee is saying, चिंता ज्यादा करोगे तो चिता में जलोगे. Chita means you will go and be burned. So what we should do? Chintan. Whose chintan we should do? Radha and Krishna chintan we should do. So the temple is the place where you will do a lot of chintan, a lot of thought process of the Lord. The mind is properly engaged in thinking about the Lord. Where there is a class, Srimad Bhagavatam class happens, Bhagavad Gita class happens, where you can hear about the Lord. It is very important that one, as Prabhupada said, see very nicely, the personality of Godhead cannot be seen with material eyes, but he can be seen only from within by spiritual eyes. When the spiritual eyes are opened by the ointment of love of Godhead, Prema Anjana, by the Premanjana, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Now, do we have Premanjan or do we have Kamanjan? I'm asking all of you. Are you all there?
We are
Yeah,
having
Ramanjan.
Premanjan.
we have all desires only.
We have Kamanjan,
Come
all
on.
desire. We want Kam, we want something or the other. But we don't have Premanjan. And that Kama is what Prabhupada mentions, is because this Kamanjan is because of the dirty covering of matter. As long as one's spiritual eyes are closed due to the dirty covering of matter, I don't know. The picture comes to that. Prabhu, can you go a little up? No, no, down. So I can see, yeah. Because there's this picture, I can't, it is blocking that point. As long as one's spiritual eyes are closed due to the dirty covering of matter, one cannot see the Lord. But when the dirt is removed by the process of devotion, one can see the Lord without a doubt. So we have this dirt which is covered, and this dirt is this Kam, Krodh, Moha, Matsarya. Huh? All of these that we have, these are all the dirt that we have. Kama, desires, Lobha, greed. We have greed for whom? Not for Krishna, but for greed for some material hankering, material stuff. Envious nature. We are envious about others' success. We are envious even about the Lord. Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajaguna, Samudbhava. Because of this Kam and Krodh, because of this influence of this Rajagun, we are not able to understand the real spiritual nature. And this is the reason why Bahirmukh, Krishna Bhoga Vancha Kare Maya Teke Jhapatiya Dhare. Because of this Bhoga Vancha Krishna, material energy then captured us. So this dirt has to come out. Then the mirror is dirty. I'll ask the question to you. When the mirror is dirty, we wash the mirror or we wash the face, our face?
We watch the mirror.
We wash the mirror, then we can see our face. So similarly, our heart is so dirty, we don't know our real identity. We don't understand who we are. And this is why we are supposed to clean the mirror of the mind. And that is what Lord Chaitanya, very nice words he has said in the Shishtastakam. Anyone knows these words? Very nice words.
Yes,
Very,
Prabhuji, Cheto Darpan Marjanam.
yeah. Yes, correct, Mataji. So, Cheto Darpana Marjana. So the Cheta, this Chetana consciousness has to be clean. Then the real self is revealed. We see ourselves every day in the mirror. When we see ourselves and with our looks that we see, we fail to realize that we're getting old. We fail to realize that the gray hair is now a sign that you're getting old. The baldness is a sign you're getting old. But what we try to do, we try to gray the gray hair we try to get back, or maybe some other color. But we try to color it out so that we don't know, Baba, we are still young. Then you have that baldness. You try to cover it now with wig. A wig is now an old story. Now it is the hair transplant. So you can do hair transplant. So this conditioned nature we are trying to, hide. Boss, we are not getting old. We are not. We're still young. Even the age now, when you ask the age, that is also wrong. You can't ask how old are you. What do you have to ask? Anyone knows? Does anyone know? When you are asking somebody's age, it is wrong to ask how old are you.
Mhm.
What they ask, do you know?
How young are you?
Sir, how young are you? I'm 85 years young. So that's the whole concept. They're just trying to block ourselves. Prabhupada, from a spiritual thought process, very clearly said, 40 years means beginning of old age, sir. Oh, 40? No, no, no. 40 is, yeah, you're young, your life is just, it has begun. But he's seeing it from the social spiritual order of society, the Varna and Ashram. 25 years of brahmachari life, 25 years of grahastha, vanaprastha, and then sannyas. So that 25 years of brahmachari life, one in that Gurukul is taught spiritual topics. When you want to get married, no problem. So by age of 40, your children have become big and getting bigger. But what is now? Now 40 to 50, beginning of old age means you're slowly giving attachment and slowly getting to detachment. What is that detachment? Detachment from family life. And attachment to whom? Positive. Attachment to Krishna. We have to be attached to Krishna. So there's nothing negative in spiritual thought process. Always positive. Always positive. Always thinking positive. So similarly, we are, the conditioned nature, and then slowly you're getting attached to Krishna. Slowly you're getting detached from family. That is where Vanaprastha comes. 50. And then slowly sannyas. But you see, where that is if you're living for 100 years. If you don't live for 100 years, then you have to divide that by 4 and then you see which year becomes your Vanaprastha. Generally, it is said, Pancho Shodam Vanam Raje. 50, sir, you have to go to Vanam. But that is for your Goshta Nandi. That's for your Bhajana Nandi. Bhajana Nandis are those devotees who are doing bhajan. They'll sit in one place and do bhajan. But Goshtanandis are the ones who are going outside to preach. So at that 50, one should now start planning to try and go. Now, why 50? Even before, try and do Bhakti Vriksha classes, children classes, and then go out in 50. Try to help so many devotees. There are so many of them in the society who are conditioned by nature. They don't know the real truth. They have this dirt, this material dirt that is there. So the material dirt removing this marjan is only possible by the causeless mercy. This is what the Lord is saying, that you tried your possibility of finding out my source, but only I revealed myself out of causeless mercy of Brahman. And so similarly, we have received such causeless mercy from so many devotees, and now here with Subal Prabhu engaging this nice Srimad Bhagavatam platform. So we can continuously get, and thanks to you all, that you all are spending time to listen. Of course, unfortunate today you have to listen from me. But listening from devotees, real nice devotees, is so important. You keep getting the causeless mercy. Keep getting the prasada. Prasad means mercy. Our concept in temples of giving this shira and all this and is that is just the commodity shira or mishri or badam but it is infused by with what? It is infused with the prasad of Krishna. And that is what is important. The more prasad you have, the more you will grow in spiritual life. Our nice dear friend of mine, just a second. Huh? Oh, my battery is showing 3%. Please give me a minute. Let me just connect and switch my iPad, otherwise it will go away. I'll become adrisya for a long time. So just bear with me for a minute. On time. Yes. So where were we? The material dirt. Where were we?
Yes, Swamiji.
It is covered by the material dirt, so that's why we are not able to see.
Yes, okay. So that's the whole process. So we have to remove this dirt, and this is called anarthas. So we all understand Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Ado Shraddha, some small faith, then Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya, the process of sadhana, then Anartha Nivrittisha, then Nishtha, then firm faith. From Ado Shraddha to Nishtha, this is the process that we have to do. So when we keep doing it, then we start engaging ourselves further in Krishna service. Yes, next. Next
Prabhu,
verse.
one question is there.
Yes, sure.
The verse says, but at that time I manifested my form from within. Matlab, Lord also manifested from the lotus from the stem of the lotus.
When here from within, which means he did tapa, right?
No,
Brahma.
Achha, this, but no,
Brahma
but this
did.
is Lord is saying something.
Yes, correct. He says that when he revealed from within means whose? From whom? From Brahma's heart.
Brahma's heart, you mean to say?
Yes. And how he revealed? Only when he did his tapa. Because he was searching the source. If the Lord comes in front of him, he will say, who is this? I don't know who you are. So from within.
It is
So
Brahma's heart, you mean to say?
Yeah. From within.
Thank you.
For us also to understand Krishna, the knowledge, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. The prakash of this knowledge is only revealed from within the heart. Then one is able to. Because what you are now seeing is what? Through your blunt senses. The blunt senses don't understand who the Lord is. Only through the mercy of the Lord through your heart. So that's the point. Any other questions? Or we can go to
No,
verse
Prabhu.
38. Okay. Okay. Yakchakartanga mat stotram mat kathabhyu dayan kitam yadva tapasi te nishtha sa esha mad anugraha. Yes.
Hare Krishna, translation. O Brahma, the prayers that you have chanted praising the glories of my transcendental activities, the penances you have undertaken to understand me, and your firm faith in me, all these are to be considered my causeless mercy. Purport. When living entity desires to serve the Lord in transcendental loving service, the Lord helps in devotee in so many ways as the Chaitya Guru or the spiritual master within. And thus, the devotee can perform many wonderful activities beyond material estimation. By the mercy of the Lord, even a layman can compose prayers of the highest spiritual perfection. Such spiritual perfection is not limited by material qualifications, but is developed by dint of one's sincere endeavor to render transcendental service. Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. Material acquisitions of wealth or education are not considered. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, voluntary endeavor, it's not a force. Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. Who said this? Yatha ichhasi
Krishna
tatha
told
kuru.
Arjun at the end of
Yes,
Gita.
yes. Yeah, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he gave everything. Then he said, Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. Boss, it is your voluntary thing, what you want to do. So spiritual life is also like this. No one is forcing each other. Anybody, please do like this. Please do. Voluntary. So it is your voluntary endeavor. But how that voluntary endeavor will come? There has to be some reason. Anything that we do in this material world, we have to have some reason. Correct or not? Anything that we have to do in this material world. For a student to study, he must have a reason to study. Correct or not?
True.
For someone to work, he must have a reason to work. Why?
Some reason. Yeah.
There has to be. So, similarly, in spiritual life also, for an endeavor to happen, there has to be some reason. We have to have some reason. And what is that reason? Initially, the reason will be I can think of myself. When I came to Krishna consciousness, I came to Dubai and we all came on a visit. So, on a visit, what do you? The reason is to get a job. So there was some spiritual activity. I was fortunate. I met devotees. So they said to chant Hare Krishna. So I said, okay, I'll chant. Now, what was the reason? To get a job. So you have these different types of reasons that we have, each one. So this is the material reason. But Krishna helped, connected me to devotees. So for now, that was the initial period. So it was not so very intense. But as and when you get more purified, the intensity of love for Krishna becomes more and more like that. We mentioned about the ras. It becomes more gada, it becomes more conditioned, not conditioned, it becomes more thick. So this is what is needed for devotees. Where initially it is komal shraddha, then firm faith. How firm faith is because now you know that only I need to please Krishna. I only want to please Krishna. My whole unknown caller. My whole business is only I want to please Krishna. That's all. I want to please Krishna's senses. This is called prem. In Chaitanya Charitam, there's a wonderful verse which is said that Krishna Priti Icha Tare Prem Nam. And our Icha, our enjoyment of senses is called calm. Unknown caller. Just a second, take it. Hello? Yes. जी जी कभी पहुंच रहे हैं जी 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 आप दोपहर को आएंगे जरा 2 बजे आएंगे आप नहीं मैं थोड़ा मीटिंग में हूँ इसके लिए जी आइए ना 2 बजे आइए प्लीज मैं एक मीटिंग में हूँ मैं उसको होल्ड किया मीटिंग में जी जी आइए थैंक यू सॉरी ऑन दिस So there's a courier guy who's calling, that's why. Okay. All right. So this is material thought, I'm going to say. Where was I? Where did I stop?
We need to have a desire to serve the Lord with a transcendental loving service.
Yes, there has to be a reason to serve. And the highest form is just to please Krishna. So that is real love, where I just want to please Krishna. Just like in material stream also, if there is love, you will always like to please the other person. without getting anything in return. So my whole point is I only want to please Krishna. Whether, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Aslisya Vapagaratam Krishna. Krishna, you're not present before me, you make me broken-hearted, but still, sir, you are my worshipable Lord, and I will worship you no matter what. You come in front of me, break my heart, do whatever you want, but I will always serve you. So this is how, from the initial reason of coming to Krishna consciousness, you then start increasing that reason to make it the most purified reason to just serve Krishna. In Bhagavatam also it is said, there's a nice verse which says that akama sarva kama va moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena. I forget the last line. So akama sarva kama.
Yajeta Purusham Param.
Yes, thank you, Subhash. So, akama, you have kama, akama, you don't have kama. Still worship the Lord. Akama, sarva kama, moksha kama, even moksha, kama udhar. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena, you have to do it tivrena, in great way. When that great way, the endeavor will come. Only when there is some ras. Why will you like to meet somebody? Because there is some taste. Why will you like to go to a specific hotel or restaurant? Because there is some taste. Why will you like to get into some activity of work, though sometimes you might not like also, but because of the taste of getting the salary? So there has to be a taste. So the highest form of taste is when actually one engages really in Krishna's service, and then increases that taste to such an extent that I just only want to please Krishna. Krishna, I only want to please you and please the devotees and my Guru Maharaj. That's all. That's all is my goal in life. My God, then what will happen to all my endeavors of education that I have done? Why not use that in Krishna's service? All that money that I have made, what will I do? Use that in Krishna's service. Oh, I got a big property. Use that in Krishna's service. Everything can be used in Krishna's service. And that is real spiritual perfection. By material perfect, my qualification, you cannot develop spiritual life, like Prabhupada says here. Thus, such spiritual perfection is not limited by material qualification, but is developed by dint of one's sincere endeavor, utsaha, to render transcendental. So this utsaha, when it will come? When you're really developing the taste. So the taste have to develop, and the taste will come when when you're engaging yourself in Krishna. So you can yourself analyze this. Am I getting taste? Oh no. Oh, it's a struggle, Prabhu. Chanting is a struggle. While chanting, I'm doing planning. I'm not hearing. How many of us do that? When we're chanting, are we planning? How many of us do it? While chanting, we are chanting or we are planning?
It keeps coming.
Yeah.
Correct.
If focus remains, we'll chant, but it diverts.
Well, yeah, we're planning because why Krishna says this is a vyavasayatmika buddhi. This is not resolute, not tivrena. It is not resolute. Because bhogaishwarya prashaktanam taya partha chetasa vyavasayatmika buddhi. This vyavasayatmika becomes avyavasayatmika. Why? Because bhoga and aishwarya, we want to enjoy. So the whole planning, if you analyze, is about only wanting to enjoy. Like for instance, I'm so conditioned because I'm in sales, I have targets, So when I'm chanting, this month target will happen. Okay, how should I make this target? So, because of bhoga, I want to, enjoy. I want to get the salary. I want to make my planning of house, etc. So it is, we have got, our faith in Krishna is so low. If we analyze ourselves. We spend many years in Krishna consciousness, but so low. How can we come out of this? Easy way. How many of us want to know the easy way? How many of us?
All.
Certainly, Prabhu, we need.
Yeah. So generally you all should be like, yes, yes, yes. Please tell us. My hand should go up. The easy way is you serve a pure devotee. Rupa Goswami says this. You serve a pure devotee, and by his causeless mercy, you will attain the transcendental loving condition. You have to make your endeavor, but just by serving him, you will make very fast advancement than your personal endeavors. So this is why Srila Prabhu and Damodar Desh Yatra, so kind. So many sannyasis come, so many Prabhus come, so many classes are happening. Somehow or the other, one should jump and do service. Seriously. Sir, I am there, please. I am there. Let me go. Till a point it must come that Srivala Prabhu must say, Baba, stop, give others a chance. So that is how it should. And it should be continuous. I still remember when we were young, we used to go around taking sannyasi. Now I don't do. And unfortunately, because we start getting conditioned. We start thinking we are special, we are senior. But it's so simple. You serve a pure devotee of the Lord, you will make rapid advance. Really, you make rapid. Go to Vrindavan, Mayapur. Why they say that when you go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, you should actually hear from a sadhu. You should serve the sadhu. Now, why they say this? We go to Vrindavan, we have darshan of the Lord, then we go and have darshan of Aloo Tikki. We want Aloo Tikki. So, but we don't go and hear from sadhu. We don't go and serve the sadhu. Can I be of? That's why you will hear always when someone goes to meet a sadhu. The question to sadhu is, how can I serve? How can I, Maharaj, how can I serve you? Can I be of some service? Can I serve you with some small thing? No, I don't know. You come tomorrow. His heart will also melt, the sadhu's. This what nice devotees coming. Gives God his gifts. This is why attending programs and listening to live classes also will give you a lot of causeless mercy. A devotee is always wanting causeless mercy. Always, all the time. There is never a time when he says, oh, I have enough now. मेरे को बहुत कृपा मिला है. अभी नहीं चाहिए. This is laziness. But a devotee always wants utsaha. He always wanting more and more mercy. So when live classes happen, you ask a question. Sir, can I ask you a question? Then what happens that sadhu who's sitting on the Vyasasana, he has this darshan of you. You ask a sincere question to make spiritual advancement, not to show yourself you are a very intelligent person. This is also material conditioning. So one questions because he wants to make spiritual advancement. The sadhu sees the question, then answers the question. And there is a sambandh that you have made. There's a relationship that you have made with him. And then that is his causeless mercy that he has put on you, the darshan he has put on you. You will make spiritual. So many such ways of getting causeless mercy from devotees. So many such ways. Even this program, I'm going to say, any endeavor where there is paropakar, some help to the other person. The person who is doing the program, he's getting so much upkar, so much of benefit. Srila Prabhu, many times you must have heard this, right? He says that increase your bank balance. Have you heard this? Hare Krishna, are you all there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
He says, no, increase your bank balance. Increase your, hey, what bank balance? What bank? Spiritual bank balance. Now, what is that spiritual bank? Try to make someone a devotee. Try to bring him for program. Many times you can see, please come for next week. We have a wonderful Rath Yatra. We have Janmashtami program. We have Ram Navami coming, Narsingha Chaturdashi. Please come. No, Prabhu, my family, my friends are coming. They are coming from Bombay. So I have to take them to Burj Khalifa. And also, Srila Prabhu says, Arey, bring them also. Get commission. Huh? Get commission. So increase your spiritual bank balance and serve devotees. In that way you will make spiritual progress. Anyway, it's now 11:25. I know I've just done not justice, but just a few verses I've taken. Are there any question on this verse? If not, I have 9 more minutes. We can do one more verse. Any questions on this?
No, Prabhu.
No.
Okay. Can we do another verse then? 40? Let's do 40. No, text 39.
39, yeah.
Yeah, let's do text 39. It's a small one. वितोऽहम् अस्तु भद्रं ते लोकानां विजयेच्छया यदस्तौ शीर्गुणामयं निर्गुणं मानुवर्णयन्. Yeah, translation and purpose. Translation, please, someone.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, yes, please.
Hare Krishna, translation. I am very much pleased by your description of me in terms of my transcendental qualities, which appear mundane to the mundaners. I grant you all benedictions in your desire to glorify all the planets by your activities. Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord, like Brahma and those in his line of disciplic succession, always desired that the Lord be known all over the universe by each and every one of the living entities. That desire of the devotee is always blessed by the Lord. The impersonalists sometimes praise for the mercy of the personality of Godhead Narayana as the embodiment of material goodness. But such prayers do not satisfy the Lord because he is not thereby glorified in terms of his actual transcendental qualities. The pure devotees of the Lord are always most dear to him, although he is always kind and merciful to all living entities. Here the word Gunamayam is significant because it indicates the Lord's possessing transcendental qualities. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yad asto shir gunamayam. The Lord has got transcendental qualities. Nirgunam. Although I am free from all material qualities. So Nirgun, when they say that the Lord is Nirgun, means he doesn't have material qualities. He has all gunas. Gunavayam, all transcendental qualities. And here we see, hey, the Lord is, I'm very much pleased. Oh, he's taking great enjoyment. Oh, yeah, you're talking so much about my glories. I'm feeling so great. I'm feeling very pleased. Why? As we discussed in the beginning, different rasas, dasya ras is where we actually glorify the Lord bases his transcendental qualities. And the Lord accepts that mood because you are in dasya. So there is a reciprocal relationship. But the real rasa is, we touched upon this before, that it is very informal. That the Lord likes very much. So here is being glorified. So many times this question you like to say, so then this is the answer because of Dasya Bhav. Krishna is Rasaraj, Krishna reciprocates according to the word, which appear mundane to the mundane. Mundane, that is a mundane person. What is a mundane person? Mundane person is somebody who is not spiritual, who doesn't understand the glories of the Lord. So for such a mundane person, there is always dvesha. I grant you all benedictions in your desire to glorify all the planets by your activity. To desire to glorify all the living beings who are in this planets, as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, being in the disciplic succession, he always desires that the Lord be known all over the universe by each and every one of the living entities. This is the desire of the devotee. Can the devotee have desires? Of course he can have spiritual desires. And this is a spiritual desire. Very much it's a spiritual desire when he wants to desire that everyone become nice devotee of the Lord. This is the real desire. And because of this real desire, then he engages himself in prachar. Goshtanandi is the one who is preaching. So the desire is always blessed by the Lord. Spiritual desire is always blessed by the Lord. The Lord is he's saying, oh, this person is trying to make others, the lost person, find his real home, find his real father. Very, very important. Many people have lost, they don't know. So the most important thing is to help somebody come back to the real father. The impersonal sometimes prays for the mercy of the personal God. Narayan as the embodiment of material goodness. Yes, that Narayan is the embodiment of material goodness. If Narayan is there, he has a form that has come from Brahma. And that form is the epitome of material goodness. Material goodness. That's all. And after that, the real is the Nirgun Brahma, which is there. But we also know that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very nicely explained Brahmano Pratishtha, that this Brahma is also coming from the transcendental form of the Lord. This kind of glorification of Brahma, where it is Ananda, that kind of glorification, the Lord does not take much interest. But he really takes the interest when he hears from the devotee speaking about the Gunamaya, the transcendental glories of the Lord. Then he is very much pleased in the Dasya. Because they are doing aparadha when they speak about the Lord having this quality that he has of goodness is generally material goodness, which is nirguna actually. The Lord does not have material qualities, only spiritual qualities. But when you glorify that the Lord is nirguna, the Lord is not very happy with such prayers. He is not thereby glorified in terms of his actual transcendental quality. The pure devotees of the Lord are always most dear to him. Although he is always kind and merciful to all living beings, that's the beauty of the Lord. Samoham sarva, samoham, what is that words? Samoham
Sarvabhuteshu name dvesha asti.
sarvabhuteshu name dvesha asti. I'm equal to all. That is how the Lord is. And to one who reciprocates me with love, then the Lord is also reciprocating with love with that devotee. Like, I think who explained this, that you're in the class, but when the teacher sees that this student is asking more questions, there is a natural affiliation and affection towards that student. Though the teacher is equal to everyone. So similarly, the Lord is equal to everyone, but because one is trying to engage in service to the Lord, trying to please the Lord, trying to serve the Lord, serve the devotee, the natural affection of the Lord is there towards that devotee, though he is equal to all. Here the word Gunamayam is significant because it indicates the Lord possessing the transcendental qualities. Wonderful transcendental qualities of kindness, compassion, care, love, service. Krishna also loves engaging himself in service. So all of these wonderful transcendental qualities are very nicely depicted in Srimad Bhagavatam through this wonderful pastime. And the devotees keep glorifying these pastimes. They enjoy this transcendental bliss. And this way, the whole life, if you see of a devotee, is so happy. Because he is always surrounded with these wonderful pastimes of the Lord, wonderful qualities of the Lord, the wonderful festivals of the Lord. Every month there is a festival. Previous month, Ram Navami. This month, Narsingha Chaturdashi. Another month, again, some festival. Then Ekadashi, then Janmashtami. There's so many such festivals. Then the whole month of Damodar Leela. When Margashirsha comes, the devotee is always in bliss, always engaged, always a chance to be enthusiastic. And this is what is important. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Hare Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. A wonderful class. So much to learn from. Practical application, as I mentioned in the beginning. That's how you weave the philosophy with practical application and speak. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. All
Ki
Vaishnavas
jai.
ki jai.
Anybody has any question?
Uday ji,
Yes, Ji.
how are you?
Fine, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Hare Bol. Great. Again, everyone's become Adrishya. Oh, there Mataji has come. Giving darshan. Yes, Rao Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So nice to see such happy faces. Yes, Sushil ji, how are you? Sushil Prabhu. Hare
You're
Krishna.
on mute, Prabhuji.
All in bliss in Krishna Bhakti.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Hare. हाँ अमित जी
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
अमित प्रभु कैसे हो
ठीक हो प्रभु, आप कैसे हो?
अभी भी शारजा में हो